Welcome back to the coin world. Old coin review and value, the ultimate destination for rare coin discoveries, numismatic treasures, and the hidden value in your pocket change. A drawer could actually change your life. What if I told you that a small, brown coin from 1953, the Liberty Wheat Penny, might be one of those coins that could turn the tables for you financially if you own one? It might be worth far more than you think. Stick around because in this video I am going to take you deep into its history, its hidden details, and by the end you will find out exactly why collectors are chasing it, and how you can discover its true value. The 1953 Liberty Wheat Penny is part of the beloved Lincoln Wheat series, which began in 1909 to celebrate the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It was the very first American coin to feature a real person, and not just an allegorical figure, making it a turning point in U.S. numismatic history. By 1953, the wheat penny had already become an iconic staple of American coinage, treasured for both its design and its symbolism. The obverse of the 1953 coin features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait, while simple, carries a weight of history. Lincoln's image was chosen not only because of his role in preserving the Union but also because he symbolized honesty, strength, and leadership during one of America's most turbulent times. Collectors today often remark that holding one of these coins feels like holding a direct piece of U.S. history. On the reverse side, the wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent and United States of America, giving this coin its nickname, the wheat penny. These two sheaves of wheat are not just decorative. They represent American agriculture, hard work, and the prosperity of a nation that depended on its farmers. Combined with Lincoln's portrait, the design struck a chord with the American people and has remained one of the most admired designs in U.S. coinage. Now, the year 1953 itself holds special interest. These pennies were struck at 3 different mints: Philadelphia with no mint mark, Denver with a small d, and San Francisco with an S. Each mint produced millions, but their survival in pristine condition is another story. Many 1953 pennies entered circulation immediately, were handled for decades, and show heavy wear. That makes uncirculated pieces, or those with mint errors, significantly more valuable to collectors. In terms of composition, the 1953 Liberty Wheat Penny followed the standard post-war formula of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. This gave it a warm reddish-brown color when freshly struck. Over time, exposure to the environment darkened many of these coins, but those preserved in original rolls or coin albums often retain brilliant red luster that commands higher prices at auction. Welcome back to the coins world, where today we are going to dive deep into the fascinating story of the Liberty 5-cent coin from 1984. Now let me tell you this right at the start. If you own this coin, it might just turn the tables for you. So stick around until the end, because I will reveal its real worth according to eBay, auction houses, and other online platforms, and more importantly, how you can sell it. But at the very end, instead of giving away every detail here, I will ask you to comment price in the comment box, and I will personally guide you with the latest value and the exact selling procedure. The Liberty 5-cent coin, more commonly known as the Jefferson nickel in 1984, has a history rooted in American tradition and post-war identity. Introduced in 1938 to replace the Buffalo nickel, it featured the image of Thomas Jefferson, the 3rd President of the United States and author of the Declaration of Independence. This design carried on for decades, becoming one of the most recognizable coins in circulation. By 1984, the Jefferson nickel had already been a familiar sight for nearly half a century, making it not only a circulating coin but also a piece of cultural continuity. Designed by sculptor Felix Schlag, the obverse features the iconic portrait of Jefferson. The reverse shows Monticello, his Virginia estate, a structure that represents Jefferson's vision of architecture, learning, and personal legacy. In 1984, the design was unchanged, but the condition and mending details of the coin gave it unique collectible appeal. The 1984 Jefferson nickel was struck at multiple mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia coins carry no mint mark. Denver coins are marked with a D, and San Francisco produced proof issues with the S mint mark. While most of these nickels were produced in massive numbers for circulation, the proof strikes from San Francisco, with their mirror-like surfaces, are especially valued among collectors. What makes the 1984 nickel particularly interesting are the errors and varieties that emerged during its production. Collectors pay close attention to double die obverses. repunched mint marks, and even off-center strikes. These errors, though unintended by the U.S. Mint, add significant value to coins that otherwise would be worth only face value. The historical importance of the Jefferson nickel series cannot be overstated. It represents stability during an era of change in American coinage. By 1984, other denominations like the penny had already undergone shifts in composition, moving from copper to copper-plated zinc, but the nickel retained its original 75% copper and 25% nickel alloy. This continuity gave the coin a reassuring familiarity to the American public. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that looks simple, a coin that may have passed through thousands of hands in grocery stores, gas stations, and school cafeterias, yet silently carries with it decades of American history and value far beyond its 5 cents. That is the story of the Liberty 5-cent coin from 1960, to a small piece of change that could turn the tables for you if you happen to own one. So stick around until the end of this video, because not only will I take you deep into its history, but I will also reveal its worth according to eBay and other online platforms, along with how you could sell it if you are lucky enough to have one. The 1962 Liberty 5-cent, also known as the Jefferson nickel, is part of a long-running series that began in 1938 and still continues today. By 1962, the design had already been circulating for nearly a quarter century, yet it retained its place in American life as one of the most recognized and heavily used coins in the nation's currency system. On the obverse of the coin, we see the portrait of Thomas Jefferson III, President of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. This portrait was designed by Felix Schlag, who won a design contest in 1938. Jefferson's image symbolizes leadership, democracy, and the enduring values of American independence, making the coin more than just money, but a reminder of national identity. On the reverse side, you will find Jefferson's home, Monticello, an architectural masterpiece and an American icon. The inclusion of Monticello adds depth to the coin, linking Jefferson's political legacy with his vision for culture, architecture, and education. The design has remained one of the most stable in U.S. coinage history, giving it a strong identity among collectors. The 1962 nickel was minted in both Philadelphia and Denver, with Denver producing the majority of coins. More than 380 million nickels were struck that year, which means the coin is not particularly rare in its most common forms. However, condition and errors are where the true value lies. Know exactly how much your specific coin is worth and how you can sell it. Here's what to do. Comment the word price in the comment box, and I will personally tell you its value according to its condition, as well as guide you through the selling process so you can get the most out of your coin. Welcome back to the coin world, where rare coins and their fascinating stories come to life. Today we are diving into the history and value of the Liberty Wheat Penny from 1940, a coin that may look simple at first glance but carries decades of history, heritage, and in some cases, serious value. If you own one of these, it just might turn the tables for you. Stick around until the very end, because I'll share exactly how you can sell this coin, where collectors are buying, and the surprising prices it has been fetching online. The Wheat Penny has long been a beloved series among coin collectors. Minted between 1909 and 1958, the Lincoln Wheat Cent was designed by Victor David Brenner and introduced to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head cent and was the first regular issue U.S. coin to feature a real person instead of a symbolic figure. That alone makes the Wheat Penny a piece of history that stands out in the world of American numismatics. The 1940 Wheat Penny was minted during an important time in American history. The world was on the brink of World War II, and while the United States had not yet entered the conflict, the political climate was tense. Millions of these coins circulated in everyday commerce, carrying the image of Lincoln on one side and to wheat stalks on the other, symbolizing prosperity and growth during uncertain times. For ordinary citizens, this penny represented not just currency, but resilience. Now, the 1940 penny was struck in huge numbers. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 586 million of them, while the Denver Mint added more than 81 million with the small d mint mark, and San Francisco contributed over 112 million with the S mint mark. That means in total, more than 780 million wheat pennies entered circulation in 1940. Because of that, a regular circulated example is often worth just a few cents to a couple of dollars. But what makes this coin fascinating is the variation in condition, mint marks, and rare errors that can dramatically raise its value. Collectors love this coin for its history, but they pay premiums for high-grade examples. A 1940 wheat penny in average circulated condition might only be worth around 10 to 50 cents, but an uncirculated one with strong luster and minimal marks can sell for $10 to $1.20. And when you reach the highest levels of grading, such as coins graded mint state 67 or higher, the price jumps into the hundreds and even thousands of dollars. These top-tier coins are rare survivors that avoided wear and damage for over 80 years, making them highly desirable to serious collectors. Errors and varieties also add another layer of excitement. For example, some 1940 wheat pennies show doubling on the obverse, where the letters or date look doubled due to a die error. Imagine holding a small copper coin from 1949 in your hand, something that has been passed through countless pockets, purses, and tills for decades, and yet today could be worth far more than its face value. That's the hidden magic of the Liberty wheat penny from 1949. If you happen to own this coin, it might just turn the tables for you. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal its value according to eBay, online platforms, and auctions, along with how you can sell it. At the end, I'll give you a way to know its exact price and the selling procedure, so stick around. The 1949 wheat penny is a continuation of the iconic Lincoln Wheat Cent series, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln on the centennial of his birth. This series ran until 1958, and during that time it became one of the most beloved and collected designs in American history. The obverse of the 1949 penny features the portrait of Lincoln, a design by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse proudly carries the wheat ears, symbolic of American prosperity and hard work. 1949. The United States was experiencing significant changes. World War II had ended only a few years earlier, and the country was entering a period of economic growth and transition. Pennies minted during this time circulated widely in a nation that was redefining itself in the post-war era. Each 1949 wheat penny is a small artifact of that moment in history, linking us to an America full of both challenges and opportunities. There were three main versions of the 1949 wheat penny: those minted in Philadelphia with no mint mark, those minted in Denver with a D mint mark, and those minted in San Francisco with an S mint mark. Each variety has its own mintage numbers and collector interest. Philadelphia produced the largest quantity, while the San Francisco issues are scarcer and often more sought after. The metal composition of the 1949 wheat penny remained 95% copper with a small balance of tin and zinc. These copper coins not only carried monetary value but also became part of everyday American life. They passed through hands at diners, gas stations, schools, and shops, often unnoticed in their day-to-day role. Today, the story is different. Collectors and sellers look at these coins with a sharp eye, focusing on details such as mint marks, condition, and even errors. For example, 1949 pennies with strong mint luster, sharp details, or doubling errors are far more valuable than ordinary worn pieces. On eBay and other online platforms, a circulated 1949 penny might sell for as little as a few cents above its face value, especially in average condition. However, higher grade coins begin to command stronger prices. Uncirculated examples often fetch between $5 and $20 depending on quality, and certified mint state coins can bring $50 to $100 or more. Some error coins or particularly rare examples have gone for even higher prices at auctions. Auction houses also highlight the potential of this coin's 1968 sitting in your drawer, something you might think is just ordinary change. But what if I told you that this coin could actually change your fortune? The Liberty 5-cent coin from 1968 has a history, a story, and a market value that might surprise you. If you have one, it might just turn the tables for you. Stay with me until the end, because I'll reveal how much it's worth according to eBay, other online platforms, and even auction houses. Plus, I'll guide you on how you can sell it. And at the very end, I'll tell you exactly how you can find its true price and the selling procedure. So stick around. The Liberty nickel, more commonly known as the Jefferson nickel by 1968, carried forward a legacy that started back in 1938 when it replaced the Buffalo nickel, designed by Felix Schlag. The obverse of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and the principal author of the Declaration of Independence. On the reverse is Jefferson's home, Monticello, an architectural masterpiece that remains one of America's most iconic symbols. 1968. The United States Mint was undergoing changes. The Coinage Act of 1965 had eliminated silver from dimes and quarters.